Hello everyone, good morning, and I hope you all are doing the best. This is Priya, English Department from Alpha International CBSE School, Bahur. And children, don't forget, always remember, keep it in your mind that we all are here. You are surrounded by us only to help you and encourage you. So never hesitate to come front and ask whatever you need regarding academics. Okay, children? So today, what are we going to discuss? Till last session, we have discussed about a legend, right? So, and I have told you also that we are going to discuss about the other legend also, right? So let us see who is that another legend we are going to discuss today. Come on, children. Yes, here is our second legend. Children, the sound of music lesson is divided into two parts. First part is about Evelyn Glennie, right? The second part is about Bismillah Khan. Here you can see the picture of our Bismillah Khan, who is purely from India. And the title, The Sound of Music, and the subtitle, the Shehnai Bismillah Khan, are really very appropriate as they are in accord with the contents of the future, PHS, which celebrates the melodious music produced by Bismillah Khan Shehnai. And this story also describes Bismillah Khan's evolution and achievements as a pioneering Shehnai player. Children, the sound of music, in this lesson Sound of Music, this part 2 is there, right? This part 2 briefly relates, like it explains how Bismillah Khan, the Padma Vibhushan and Bharat Ratna recipient, made an immensely valuable contribution to the musical world of Shehnai. Hailing from a family of musicians, Bismillah Khan secured for the Shehnai a place among the classical musical instruments. He improvised really many new ragas using Shehnai, and as his originality won between all the musicians in the musical world, he won, and this originality won him accolade at the international level as well. From the beginning, I was talking about Shehnai, right? I think you all have a doubt now. Is it or not? Yes. What is meant by Shehnai? Shehnai means it's a musical instrument which is used in the classical music, and that is purely belong to India, and which is the main instrument used by Bismillah Khan. You can see in the picture also he is having that. So that is the Shehnai, and that is why we are using the subtitle as the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. And Bismillah Khan is awarded India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, and Sangeet Natak Academy. Sangeet Natak Academy in his career. So this is the short and sweet description about Bismillah Khan's musical field. Now let us go into the deep discussion about Bismillah Khan's inspirational story. Okay, children. So before entering into the lesson directly, let us discuss the first content given in part 2 before you read. Children, I hope you all can see these pictures now in the slide, right? Take a screenshot of this picture. Now, go and search in the internet after the class. Go and search in the internet that what are the names of these people in the pictures and what are the instruments are they playing. Just have an idea and just note it in the paper regarding we have 8 pictures and I need the names of all those 8 pictures, the people who are there in the 8 pictures, and the instrument, the name of those instruments what they are playing. So this will be an activity, first activity for you in today's session. Okay, children. So I'm not going to explain this. Once you finish that, let us discuss that later. Okay. Here comes our part 2. So before reading the paragraph, I just want to give again the intro. Means the lesson is about Ustad Bismillah Khan. His name is Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was a renowned Shehnai player in India. He is a legend because he did something which is historically significant, something great which stood in the history of our India. And he played the Shehnai on the day India got independence. That is on 15th August 1947. That day he played the Shehnai. And at the Red Fort before the Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Right? He was the Prime Minister of India at that time. So in front of Nehru, he played this Shehnai in order to signify something auspicious. Something auspicious for the whole country was about to happen. India was about to get freedom, right? And so on that occasion, on that great occasion, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai, and so he is a legend because in that occasion, in front of all the gathering there, and Prime Minister in the Red Fort on the first Independence Day, like 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan was asked to play the Shehnai. So that is what made him as a legend. So now let me read the first para. Emperor Aurangzeb banned, underline the word banned, children. Banned means prohibited. It means stopping, like not allowing. Okay. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi. Don't pronounce it as pangi or panji. It is a Hindi word. So we have to pronounce it as pungi. That instrument is called pungi. In the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. That pungi is having a shrill, unpleasant sound. Shrill means, underline the word shrill, it means a very sharp sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noise makers. Children, do you know what is meant by unpleasant? Underline that also. Shrill, unpleasant is the right. Unpleasant means something you cannot listen, something you can't bear to listen that, which is like noisy. So that instrument will be very noisy and nobody can have patience to listen to that. That is what mean by shrill, unpleasant. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. One day be revived. So children, underline the word generic name. Generic name means a name given to a class or something, a name branded to a group or as a whole, right? So that is the thing. And generic name means a scientific name or a classification of something also. And then reeded, underline the word reeded. Reeded means like a wind instrument which have reeds like the flute, the clarinet. It means some holes in that instrument, right? Okay. A barber of a family of professional musicians. So few had thought that it would one day be revived. Underline the word revived, children. Revived means again bringing it back, brought back to life. Okay, a barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Tonal, underline the word tonal, it means sound, the sound quality, right? He chose, a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi. What is meant by hollow? Underline the word hollow. Hollow means empty from inside. It will be covered from the outside, but inside it will not be anything. Nothing will be there inside. So we call it as hollow. Okay. and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. 7 holes on the body of the pipe. Now coming to the explanation part, children, pungi was a musical instrument. As we have discussed earlier, pungi means it's a musical instrument. The predecessor of the shehnai. It means shehnai is also a music instrument, but it's originated from the musical instrument called pungi. What the Mughals, when the Mughals ruled India in those days, before the Britishers came, there was a very famous Mughal ruler named Aurangzeb. Everybody know till today who is Aurangzeb, right? So during that period, during that Mughal ruler named Aurangzeb, he did not allow the pungi. He did not allow pungi to be played in his royal residence because he felt like it is an unpleasant and noisy instrument. So he banned it. He said that it should not be played in the royal residence. He should not hear that sound from the pungi. And also, any musical instrument which is made with reeds, like we have flutes, we are having flutes, right? It means a wooden pipe like thing with the holes. So that is the reeds. Any musical instrument which is made with those holes, they are all classified as pungi. As pungi is in that shape, all the musical instruments which are having like those holes were classified under pungi. So pungi is a broad term for any type of instrument which uses wind to produce sound. It means if we blow only through that air, we can produce sound through that instrument. As Aurangzeb has banned all these reeded noisemakers, it means all the instruments which are having these holes and which are played with wind, air, should be banned. He said that it should be banned in his country, and he had banned pungi in his royal residence. No one thought that one day such noise makers, such instrument which made unpleasant sound would be played, and their sound would be liked by the audience. At that time they just banned and stopped using that pungi. But nobody knows that one day in future this instrument will be a very good instrument in the music field, and all people will start liking it. Nobody thought at that time. And as the pungi had an unpleasant sound, very noisy sound, not a good pleasant sound, there was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians. Actually, that barber's family members are musicians professionally. It means their career is like musicians. But this barber came from that family of musicians and he wanted to play the pungi. But he knew that the sound produced by pungi was unpleasant. He also know that he likes to use pungi. But he knows that the sound which is coming out of the pungi is not at all good. Then he decided something. He wants to improve the sound. He wants to improve the quality of that pungi sound, right? Then this barber took a pipe. A pipe means, like PVC pipes we are having, right? Inside nothing will be there. It will be very hollow. Like a stick bag. Stick bags you all know, like in all the cloth shop, I mean textile shops, they will be giving it. That stick bags. Like those sticks. He took one pipe with hollow, like it should be hollow. I mean, it is hollow inside and covered outside. And it was longer and broader than pungi. So he selected a pipe which is longer and broader than pungi, and he made 7 holes on that body, 7 holes on the pipe, as if a flute, right? As we have seen in the flute, no, it is something like it is a pipe which is hollow inside and it is covered outside, and the holes will be there. So he made on his own a instrument and named that instrument as what? Pungi. No, sorry. It's not pungi. He named it as Shehnai. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument so different from the pungi had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a nai, nai means barber, underline that word, barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai. So children, after creating such an instrument with a pipe using 7 holes in a hollow pipe, now he started, the barber, he started to blow air. Blow means you know right, blowing. So past tense for blow is what? Blew. So he blew air into the pipe and closed and opened all the holes, all the 7 holes using his fingers. He found that soft and melodious sounds were produced when he did like this. So when he was practicing, when he was experimenting in that new instrument, like closing and opening all the 7 holes with his fingers, he found that something soft and melodious music started coming out of that instrument. And when the barber played this instrument, after once he got practiced clearly, he went to the royal court to play that instrument. He knew that that instrument with holes, whatever the instrument may be, if it is with a hole and like it's a pipe, it is banned in the royal court. He knew that, but also he went there. He went and played this instrument in the royal court. Everyone in the court liked the sound produced by it. Everyone loved the music which he produced through that instrument. The royal court thought that this instrument was different from the pungi and so it should have a different name also. As they will started listening and enjoying this sound, the royal court members, you know, those people, they started thinking that this instrument is little different. I think in the first slide you have seen the picture of the pungi, right? It was like a ball, so like something shape, right? A snake will be there, right? The movies they used to this type of instrument to call off for to catch the snakes, right? In that shape. And now this pungi is a little bit like a flute, not like flute, a little bit. So there is a difference between the two instruments. But that is why these royal court members thought that as they are in different shapes, as they are different from both, their names also should be different. Okay. And now there is a story behind the name given to this instrument. So Shehnai, as we have discussed, right? This name was given to that instrument because there was a story behind that why the name was given to this instrument. Now I think we all had knew about what that story was. And this instrument was played for the first time in the royal residence of Shah. Shah means it was the name of the king. In Mughals, they call the king as, in the Mughal emperors, they won't call the king as King Raja or all. They used to call the king as Shah. So for the first time, he played the instrument in the Shah, in front of Shah in the royal residence. And as the Nai means he is a barber, right? His family background may be the musicians, but present he is a barber. So being a barber, that is the Indian term, like a Nai means is Indian term used for a barber. In India, we used to call barbers as Nai, used for the barber, and had played it for the first time. Being a barber, he played it the first time. They called it as Shehnai. So the first part is Sheh. Sheh means because it was played only for the king for the first time, right? In the royal court only. So they had the first name Sheh, where they have divided that into two. Sheh means Shah, the king. And the second part, Nai. Nai means it was played by the barber, right? So they have joined Shah as king and Nai as barber. They have joined both, and then that is the reason why the name came as Shehnai. And so this instrument was named as what? Named as what? Shehnai. Understood, children? The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Underline the word auspicious. Auspicious means promising to bring good fortune. It means promising to what? To bring good deeds, right? And for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable. Underline the word indispensable. Indispensable means it is like a piece of work without which a piece of work cannot be done. A work cannot be done without a piece, right? Something which is very necessary. For example, if you want to cook a curry, we need salt. Without salt, that is a waste, right? That is what, like, it is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai, was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Underline the word ensemble. Ensemble means we have to pronounce it as ensemble. It's not ensemble, ensemble. So things here means it's instrument considered as a group. Ensemble means considered of a group. Then till recently it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Children, here it means we are talking about the sound of the Shehnai, right? And for the reason, the sound which was produced by Shehnai, was considered to be a good omen, and so it was played on good occasions. They branded it as like the Shehnai should be played in only good occasions. And you can hear Shehnai being played at many temples at weddings also. These days we can see that Shehnai in weddings, all those things, a group of people who used to play those tablas and all, right, in the marriages also they will be sitting at the backstage and playing. There you can see that Shehnai, it will be played only in the marriages and temples, and they will not use it in any bad occasions. Right, children? So the Shehnai was a part of the Naubat. What is meant by Naubat here? Naubat means it is an Urdu word which means it's a traditional ensemble. It's a traditional ensemble, that means a traditional group of 9 musical instruments. It means there will be a group of 9 musical instruments which is a traditional. So that we call it as Naubat. And these 9 musical instruments were played at the royal court, and Shehnai was also a part of Naubat. All these 9 instruments are there, right? Or they will be, these 9 instruments will be played only at the royal court. Among those 9, Shehnai is also one of the instrument played. Remember, children, at first when the Shehnai was in the form of Pungi, the royal court had banned that. Now this is one of the good thing and one of the Naubat in the 9 instruments played in the royal court. And the Shehnai was played at the king's court, in temples and at weddings. It was used on stages, like it is used on stage performance, and the credit for that goes to whom? Ustad Bismillah Khan. Whoever now after inventing that instrument Shehnai, Now it has been used by all the people, right? Many of the people who were interested in that. But whoever plays in the marriages or temples or the stage performance also, all the credit goes to whom? It goes only to Ustad Bismillah Khan only, because he was the one legend. He was the legendary Shehnai player, and people wanted to hear him play the Shehnai. Although so many people started playing that, still people always wished our Bismillah Khan to play that Shehnai, because he was a legendary who found that, and then, as you know, who have experienced that, who had passion in that, will surely do their best in their field, right? Yeah, children. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damron in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Biharji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy had travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. At the age of 5, Bismillah Khan, at the age of 5, when he was 5 years old, he used to live in an old estate named Damron in present day Bihar estate. He used to live there in that estate, and he used to play Gilli Danda with his friends. Like, it's an old game, old sport which is similar to cricket. Nowadays you are playing cricket, right? In the same way, Gilli Danda means they used to play with two small sticks, one small stick and one big stick like a bat. They used to play in olden days, and that game is called Gilli Danda. So, our Bismillah Khan used to play that in his native, it means in the Bihar estate. Also, he would go to the nearby Biharji temple. He used to, what is his routine work? He used to go to the Biharji temple, and although Bismillah Khan was a Muslim, we all know the name itself indicates that he is a Muslim. Even though he is a Muslim, he used to go to the temple and sing this song. What song? Chaita, in Bhojpuri language. Bhojpuri language is spoken where? In Bihar. The people in Bihar used to speak in the language Bhojpuri. In that language, he used to sing that Chaita in Bhojpuri language in that temple. So in return, what would he get? When he would finish that song, when he finished singing that song, he would get a big laddu as a reward. So a big laddu, when we are getting a big laddu, why don't we do all such things? The same way, Bismillah Khan also used to sing that song in the temple just to get that reward, a big laddu. You all know what is laddu, right? And the weight of that laddu is 1.25 kg. Children, just imagine that. What is the weight? 1.25 kg. Nowadays, we used to buy overall for the family like 1 kg. 1 kg is weighs about 9 or 10 laddus, right? But one laddu's weight is 1.25 kg, and for that big size jumbo laddu, he used to go and sing in the temple. And this was the prize given to Bismillah Khan by whom? By local Maharaja. Why? Because he used to sing that song Chaita. So in return, to reward him, local Maharaja used to give that big laddu to him. And the writer says that this incident occurred when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old. It means he used to sing in the temple and get that laddu in which age? When he was at 5 years old. And he would get this laddu as a reward also. And after 8 years, Bismillah Khan earned the highest civilian award in India. What is the highest civilian award in India? It is the Bharat Ratna. So this is the distance that he has traveled in his life. It means, distance means not physically. When he was in 5 years, he used to get reward as a laddu. Within the span of 8 years, he got the biggest award as what? Bharat Ratna award, and that is what the biggest, the distance he had traveled in his life. And at 5 years of age, he would get a 1.525 kg, right, as a reward. And at 80, what did he achieve? The highest civilian, what? Civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna. So children, 5 years and 80 years. When he was in 80 years, what did he receive? He received Bharat Ratna, and when he was in 5 years, he used to get that laddu from the local Maharaja. Born on 21 March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Bugs Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. His father, what is his father? Underline these names, Rasul Bugs Khan, and then Shehnai Nawaz, underline that word. Bhojpur, underline, and his father is what? Paigambar Bugs. Paigambar Bugs. So underline that word. And other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Children, when was Bismillah Khan born? Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 in the family of musicians, and the family was in Bihar. So, the lineage on his father's side was full of great Shehnai players. It means his family members, his father's side family members are all musicians, and they are well enough to play Shehnai. And we can say that Bismillah Khanji also he acquired that skill of playing the Shehnai from his ancestors only. It means from his parents, grandparents only he got that skill of playing the Shehnai. His grandfather was a great Shehnai player, and his name was Rasul Bugs Khan. He played the Shehnai in the court of Bhojpur king, and his father Paigambar Bugs, his father and all the paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, it means now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practicing the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bugs to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Bugs was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Bugs would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instruments and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangalamaya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Children, here Bismillah Khan also started learning music at early age. We have discussed about Evelyn also, right? She used to show interest and start practicing in the early age. In the same way, Bismillah Khan also started learning music at his early age, at his small age. When Bismillah Khan was just 3 years old, at the age of 3, his mother once took him to his parents' house. It means his mother's parents' house, his grandparents' house, okay? And it means his maternal uncle means mother's brother. Maternal uncle means the lineage of one's mother's side. Mother's brother's elder and younger brother will be called as maternal uncles. They lived in Benares. Benares means today we call it as Varanasi. And when Bismillah Khan saw his uncle playing Shehnai, he was really curious to learn that. He was attracted towards that instrument. He also wanted to play that instrument. Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle daily. Wherever his uncle goes to play, he used to go along with his uncle, and his uncle's name is Alibaks. Alibaks goes to Vishnu temple in Benares, and there, because his duty was to play Shehnai at the Vishnu temple. In Benares there was a Vishnu temple. In that temple Alibaks have to play. His duty was, his work was there to play the Shehnai daily in the temple. So along with his uncle, Bismillah Khan also started going to the temple and listen to his music. When Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Alibaks play the Shehnai, when he was sitting and noticing his uncle playing the Shehnai, he would get attracted. He was getting too much curious about how the music is coming from that instrument, and he would sit there for hours and hours listening to him, how his uncle is playing the Shehnai, right? And slowly, gradually, Bismillah Khan also started started learning to play the Shehnai. After listening and learning after like watching his uncles, how he is playing Shehnai, he also started learning how to play the Shehnai, and he would practice. He used to practice the whole day, all throughout the day he used to practice that playing that instrument, and he never got tired. Because why? Even though he is practicing the whole day, he never get tired. Why, children? Because that is called passion. Passion, a person, whoever is having passion in something, what he is interested, what is goal, he will never get tired until he attains it. So that is what made even Bismillah Khan, he never got tired. He was always covered, it means always engaged with that Shehnai. Okay. And for many years, Bismillah Khan remained in Benares. He stayed there in Benares because he would visit the temple of Balaji, temple of Mangalamaya, and would remain on the banks of river Ganga. It means he used to go to the temples of Balaji. Balaji means Perumal, right? You know, right? And the temple of Mangalamaya, and would remain, and he used to spend his time maximum on the banks of river Ganga, and there he would practice playing the Shehnai for himself. He used to play alone, and he used to practice himself without any teachers. And here we come to know about the talent of Bismillah Khan. This is the passion and interest which he showed, and there the talent of Bismillah Khan comes out. He was so inspired and motivated by the river Ganga. He got inspiration through that river Ganga. It provoked him to improve his performance, and he also invented many ragas. He invented many ragas sitting on that banks of Ganga, and that were considered impossible to be produced by a Shehnai. So that is what made him as a legendary in that Shehnai field, because he used to sit alone without any teacher. He used to practice, go on without tiredness. And later he used to invent so many ragas with only one instrument, and that is Shehnai. So here Ustad Bismillah Khan worked hard and invented different sounds with the Shehnai, and invented many ragas and many sounds with the Shehnai. And this is where Bismillah Khan showed his curiosity, hard work and determination, children. So let us just stop the session here, because still many more are there to learn about Bismillah Khan. There are so much pending to learn about Bismillah Khan. We can't complete within a short span, right? Within 30 or 40 minutes we cannot complete, because they are a legend. and their hard work and effort cannot be finished in one section, in one session. So children, we have to just, so children, so let us stop as an incomplete here and continue our session, continue our discovery on Bismillah Khan's inspirational story in the next session. So I am not giving any activity regarding this lesson, like regarding Bismillah Khan, but I have given one activity in the first page itself, like before you did, right? So you have to collect the names of those 8 pictures and the instruments of those pictures. I mean those person who are having those instruments. You have to find out the names of the person as well as the instrument what they are using. It will be this will be the activity for you today, and let us wait what will happen in the next session. Let us collect the rest of the information about Bismillah Khan in our next session. So thank you children, and have a lot of fun during Corona holidays. And then this is Priya signing off from Alpha International CBSE School. Have a stunning day children. Bye.